From WTDG Toledo, Bridges, with your host, Doni Miller, connecting our community with information about issues and opportunities.
Hey, good Sunday morning and welcome to Bridges. My name is Doni. What if I told you that in the heart of the Central City, we had programs, free programs for kids in subjects like nanotechnology, sustainable renewable energy, and STEM, a STEM academy? Would you be surprised? Well, I was. I was surprised that this long-term agency, the Frederick Douglass Community Center, has reinvented itself in a way that makes it absolutely essential to the well-being of the lives of the kids in our Central City communities. And we're talking today with board members from that organization. We have with us Carl Parker, who is the president. Thank you so much, Carl, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yan Scotland, who's the vice president. You all have seen Yan here before. Thank you, Yan. You're just everywhere. You're just busy doing everything.
That's right. Master of no trades, though. It's okay.
And the Judge Myron Duhart, who is a board member of the Frederick Douglass Community Center. Thank you so much for attending. Your first time here.
It is.
I hope won't be your last. Thank you very, very much for coming today.
Thank you.
So, Frederick Douglass has had a long and storied history in this community. Around for how many years? More than 100?
Since 1919.
1919?
Yeah.
Okay. 1919. Had some trouble for a while, sort of lost its relevancy to the community, or at least that was the discussion. That you guys would probably disagree with that just a little bit, but lost its relevancy to the community. And you all decided that you weren't going to let that happen. Why? Why is that?
Well, you know, the Frederick Douglass Center does have a long, rich history of adding value to the community. And as we looked and spanned the neighborhood, we knew there was something we had to do. So early on this year, or late last year, we decided we need to recruit a group of talented board members, progressive leaders that can transform the Frederick Douglass Center to what it used to be and beyond. Mm-hmm. So we adopted a motto about renewing its relevancy and creating an epicenter of hope and empowerment. So this team that we've assembled, 19 plus people strong, we're about changing the relevancy and changing its value. Yan's on board, and Judge Duhart is here with us as well.
An epicenter of hope and relevancy.
Well, it's important. You know, we talked about cradle to grave. That sounds strange sometimes, but trying to meet the needs of the community. You know, everything from athletics to medicine to education to, you know, various things that we all need and know we need in that community, and then taking it a step forward. I mean, the programs that Carl is bringing in, which we'll discuss, are programs that are relevant in any community. And so we're trying to do all the basics, bring in new programs on top of that, and really trying to raise the hope of the people in the area so that they know that there are things that they can latch onto, places they can go, technologies that they can conquer. And
right in the communities. Carl and I were talking about this a few days ago, and he said that there actually was the results of a needs assessment that you all did in that community showed that issues around parent involvement, education, recreation, culture, arts, skill development, and entrepreneurship were really those that rose to the top as needing attention in the community if the community was going to, and we've listed those on the screen for you, if that community was going to thrive and if you were in fact going to meet your mission of being, you know, central to changing that neighborhood.
That's true. I mean,
and your programs all evolve around those issues.
Directly aligned. You know, and Judge is a graduate of the area, so I would love to hear his thoughts about it as well.
Well, you know, I have seen that area and that community center in its prominence and in its relevancy days, and I've seen it decline. And you know, I'm excited to be involved and part of this renewed and enthusiastic effort to bring the community and the community center back to relevance. Yes, I grew up across the street from the Frederick Douglass Center, and as a child, it provided a place for me to remain busy and occupy my time, and so there's a special place in my heart for the community center. And when I was approached about being involved, I jumped at the chance because we have to make sure we keep those kind of things and those institutions relevant in our community.
Alive in our community, absolutely. And you guys have some real heavy hitters on this board focused on making this work. Dr. McClellan, for instance, who's been here before. Patrice, written a great book. She was here. I had a great time with her. Some of the other folks that are on the board too. Yan?
I don't know. Well, we have Chris Meyer, who's IT specialist for, I think, Michigan State, I believe.
University of Michigan.
And he's actually going to be putting on a program about websites and things of the sort to teach people how to surf the web and even how to manage their own websites and that type of stuff. And so that's exciting. We have a corporate lawyer out of Dana, that's Sylvester Holmes, who is bringing out a lot of good, sound work as far as contracts and things of that sort to how we operate and how we move forward and how we financially stay relevant and things of that sort. And we have Carl, of course, who's an engineer and who's involved in a lot of areas, including some of the things that we're bringing in, like solar energy and the Nano Center and that type of stuff. And you know, just on and on. If you go down the board, there are people with specialties that we've never had before, and I think that's going to make a big difference.
Because I was going to ask you. There have been lots of stops and starts. This organization has been pretty labile in its strength, you know, up and down and up and down. And there's been strong community conversation about the loss of minority-run, minority-focused organizations in the Central City, a place that lots of people think that those services are absolutely needed. What makes this time different than all of the other times?
What makes it really different, I'm going to go back to the board discussion really quickly. Not only do we have the board members he mentioned, but we also have Romulus Durant, we have Jeanette Rodovich from the Sylvania School System, we have Dr. K. Patton Wallace from the University of Toledo. So we have a broad spectrum of leaders who are changing what we do. And what's different is our commitment. It's our relationships, our connectivity, and also the need of the children and members of the community. That makes a difference. Our ability to drive partnerships with Dana, Owens Corning, Chrysler, and others will make this different for the future.
But you know, it's really not one of those, if you build it, it will come, they will come kind of thing. So community engagement, especially with you know, in neighborhoods that are traditionally troubled, is always a difficult endeavor to undertake. So how are you going to make sure that the community is engaged this time?
Well,
please, doesn't matter.
Real quickly, one of the things is we structured our organization as we looked at what it was in 2011 and structured in 2012. We stood up committees directly related to the issues associated with our community. One of the structures we put together is a committee called a Community Engagement Committee, directly aligned with understanding the needs of our people, from surveys, for invitation. We've opened our doors to the community, unlike it was in the past maybe 7 to 10 years, to ensure there's direct involvement from the community.
That's really important, but what would you say to those folks out there who say, okay, you're doing lots of things at Frederick Douglass, but you know what, the Boys and Girls Club's right around the corner. There's a YMCA, there are YMCAs all over, there's one at Bancroft and Franklin. Why are you different? I mean, why isn't this a duplication of services? Why aren't we spending more money than we have to in an area where there seems to be a fair amount of services already provided?
Geographically speaking, I think the building and the facility itself is in a prime location. I think it sits in the center of a badly needed community that it's in need of service. And so I think within a 5 or 10 mile radius, you have nothing else like that. You have basketball courts there. I can't name an indoor basketball court for kids to come and play anywhere near that. The Boys and Girls Club is 5 miles away, 4 miles away.
Is it that far?
Well,
the one at Detroit is probably about 3 miles away.
3 miles. But yeah, but it doesn't matter. You know, when you look at it demographically, that area, the surrounding of that center, there's always been kind of a void, unfortunately, in recent years. And the need for that center there is just tremendous. And so there's absolutely no issue as far as bringing people in, because they have wanted to come in and get in and be involved. What we have to do is create things that draw people to community. It normally starts with recreation, so we have have to open up and make sure we have basketball programs and softball
you do. I was
programs.
really
things
impressed with the programming.
Right.
Lots of recreation program, but you know, I mean, midnight basketball. Let me find my list here. Midnight basketball. Tell me I can't find my list.
we have adult league starting May 20th. We have youth league starting May 12th, June 12th, other leagues. So we're also starting a soccer program, additional with golf, bowling, a lot of different things that you don't have in the region or you really don't get exposed to. But other community centers, they're great. We love them.
Yes.
But however, I don't know if you can learn about urban gardening or solar academy, nanotechnology at the other centers.
Well, and
those
you know,
are
and
differences in what we do.
I want to make sure that we tell people you always find recreation programs at these kind of places, but that's not what this place is really all about. No. It certainly is about providing that opportunity for kids, but your focus is actually so much bigger than that. And one of the things that I just loved immediately was the Parent University. We talk on this show all the time about how our community fails because we don't have parents involved at the level that they should be involved. And you guys are actually going to put together a series of workshops.
That's correct.
Is that fair to call them workshops, classes?
Yes, right.
That actually help parents understand their role in this very, very changing, dynamic community that they live in, environment that they live in.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud and excited about
cool.
June 21st when we kick off that 6-part series called Parent University. It's the beginning of a holistic program that allow our parents to not only learn to be better parents, but to allow them to transition their families from tax consumers to tax producers.
Right.
One of our board members talked about, you know, also the Parent University is powerful for us because I'm about to be a new father. This could be an opportunity for me to learn about how to be a parent.
Right.
Today,
right, because we do
no
assume
book.
you know.
There's no book.
There is no
parenting.
book. It's the hardest job on the planet. Myron's nodding. You've got teenagers, don't you?
I do.
Oh, my heart goes out to you. It is. It's the hardest job on the planet, and nobody teaches you how to do it.
So we're offering that opportunity for anyone in the community to come learn how to be better parents.
Yeah.
Let me talk about another program that talks about collaboration. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to hear about that, but I want to ask you to hold that thought, okay? So we can go away for just a few seconds. We'll be right back.
Yes.
I promise we'll be right back. Hang tight.